Hey humans! Hi, it's me again, Makaya Cheyenne, and welcome back to my channel. So today, we are going to be talking about Charles Kennedy. And since this is from the 1800s, there's not too many pictures. So I'm giving what I got. Let's get into it. So today, we are going to the Wild Wild West. And we are going to Eagle Nest, New Mexico, 1865. Because this was back in the day, we don't have so much information on Charles's early life. So we don't really know like how he grew up, where he grew up, anything like that. But I'm guessing that he is from the description, he's a white male who was tall and big and husky, and he had a full beard, just a big beard. So yeah, that's all they said about him. He lived in Moreno Valley with his wife Rosa, who was a Native American. So obviously, because they specify what her race was, I'm guessing that he is white. So that's why I'm saying that she was Native. They had a son together. He was 3 at the time that they built a rest stop for passerbys or travelers to go to and stay for however many days or whatever. It was in a very isolated area, so it wasn't a lot of traction, but I guess it was enough to keep their business going. So their business was doing good because in the Old West, I guess there were always travelers going to and fro, and they needed to stop somewhere to put their horse in, get some food and sleep, of course. But this wasn't any old rest stop. No, because Charles, the owner, he had different plans for the people who wanted to come and take a rest. Charles used this rest stop to do some sinister things. So as the people were coming to the rest stop, they were never leaving. They wouldn't leave. They come to stay forever, I guess. You would think you want to go to a rest stop, rest, and get back on the road. But unfortunately, his customers kept going missing. So where his rest stop was, on the Taos Trail, it was used heavily by cowboys and outlaws, So it had a good traction, I feel. So plenty of people for Charles to do what he needs to do. So as the cowboys or the travelers and outlaws were, taking a rest, big old Charles would make his way in there and kill them and then steal from them. He would take their money. He would take anything he could find from them, even their animals that they had with him. He'd just go ahead and take them, whatever. He just wanted what they had and to kill somebody. He was crazy. So after he would kill them and steal from them, he would get rid of their bodies by either burning them or burying them on his property. The people were disappearing so much because I guess when you go through a town, you see other people stop at the store, whatever, stop at the saloon or whatever. And the people were noticing that they wouldn't see those travelers again. They were just going missing. So people started making up rumors like, what happened? What could have happened? Where did they go? Like, oh, this is scary. They disappeared. I ain't seen Johnny in 10 days. What the freak? So the people in the town was like, this is suspicious. This is some weird stuff. But they didn't have any clue about anything because they were just rumors. So the town did not have a clue about who or what could be happening to these people. So all that would change in the winter of 1871. So in 1871, a prominent citizen of the town came up missing. Now, a lot of people came up missing, but why is this person so important? Well, because everybody knew him, and his horses, mules, and other belongings were found at a rest stop. And guess whose rest stop it was? Charles. It was Charles's rest stop. So that brought the investigators and the sheriff to Charles's rest stop. So they got to asking Charles questions like, hey, have you seen him? You know, we've been looking for him, but also we found his belongings on your property. Do you know anything about that? And Charles was like, no, I don't know anything about that. You know, I just seen those belongings and I decided to bring them to my rest stop on my property because they didn't have anybody buy them. So I didn't know if the person got kidnapped by some Apaches or killed by some Apaches. So I just brought it here. Now, they said that Apaches, back in the day, the Apache natives used to steal and kill people and kidnap them and take their belongings and stuff. And that could be made up, but that's what they said. So they were like, oh, so the Apaches could have did it and you just bought his stuff here. Okay, all right. They were like, it's a little bit suspicious, and I'm gonna tell you why. They said that there were mules there, and if the Apaches stole his stuff or stole him, they would have took the mules with them because they enjoyed mule meat with their stuff. Like, they would cook it and all this type of stuff with it. So they wouldn't just leave the mules there. So the investigators were like, this don't make sense. This really not adding up. Like, I don't really know. We'll be back, Charles, but this don't make sense. You're suspicious. So Charles, he dodged a freaking bullet. He thought he was in the clear. He was like, yes, they didn't know anything about me. Oh, the Apaches did it. Wink, wink. So, that's just it. But little did Charles know that a traveler and a kid would be his downfall. So a traveler came to the rest stop, and Rosa and Charles thought it'd be nice to invite him for dinner. They had him over for dinner with them and their 9-year-old son. And the guy was asking questions like, hey, have you seen any natives around here? You know, why? I don't know. But they were like, no, we haven't seen any natives. No natives over here, no. So the dude was like, well, that's strange, you know. And then their son, he just bust out, was like, yeah, we see some natives. Can you smell the one that dad put under the porch? If I was that man, I would have flew. Cause what are you talking about? That your daddy put under the porch? You're tripping. I gotta go. So dude was like, what are you talking about? He didn't even get a chance to react, cause next thing you know, bah! Shot right in the head. Boom. Dead. And then Charles gonna grab his son and start bashing his head against the fireplace till his skull like caved in. And Rosa was in the back like, she was screaming. And dude was like going crazy. He was just psycho. He just started back. Like, even though the first guy was dead, he still was bashing his head, bashing the son head. And then Rosa was screaming so much, she's like, girl, calm down. Shut up. So he threw her in the room and locked the door. So Rosa probably was in there like, oh my God, he just killed our freaking son. He just killed our child. So Charles was like, you know what? I gotta get rid of these bodies. So he just threw them in the cellar and locked the cellar. And then he just drank himself to sleep. That boy was in there drunk. And he went to sleep. So Rosa was sitting there like, I gotta go. Like, I gotta tell somebody. So she climbs out of the fireplace. Like, she's really on some parkour type stuff. She climbs out of the fireplace and runs 15 miles to the nearest saloon in Elizabethtown. So she ran into the saloon and she met Clay Allison and David Crockett. And he was related to Davy Crockett. I know you heard that name before. I'm not going to go into who he is because I don't know. But yeah, he was related to Davy Crockett. And I guess they were some bad mother suckers. So anyway, they were like, girl, What are you talking about? What? And she's like, my husband, Charles, just killed my son and killed somebody. And he also killed other people. And they're buried under our property. And this is not the first time. There's multiple people. There's multiple things you'll find, blah, blah, blah. And he also killed our other children before we moved here. So help me. Like, girl, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in. Now let's unpack this. He killed your 2 other children before you guys moved there and you stayed? Damn. What's that about? Anyway, so they were like, oh yeah, he's a psychopath. Let's go get him. So David was like, come on, posse, let's go. We gotta get this boy. He out here killing people. Let's go. So they go to his house. They like gather all the people. And they go to something. They're like, yeah, let's go get him. Let's go get him. So they go there. They bust in the door. And they like, where the body's at? Where the body's at? And he's like, what are y'all talking about? What's going on? Like, boy, you did not just say that. You literally killed your kid and another dude. And you're like, what's going on? But he was drunk. He was drunk. So maybe that's why. They were like, oh, heck no, this guy's crazy. Let's go look around. So they grabbed him up, hemmed him up. And he didn't even try to fight back because he was too drunk. Like, he didn't know what was going on. So they go and check out everything, and boom, skulls in the house, in the fireplace. They got bodies in the cellar, which was his son and the traveler. And they were also making it seem like it was more bodies. So he already had people in there already. And they was looking around on the property and just found bones and all types of stuff. They said that it was like 20 plus men on the property buried. So he was guilty. There wasn't no way around it. He was a guilty guy. So Kennedy ended up going to jail, and he was in his pretrial and he was pleading guilty October 3rd. And there was also a witness there who said that they actually seen him shoot somebody. So he was definitely going to jail. But the thing is, they said that back in the day, some lawyers were real shady and people do lots of things for a little change. And they said that the lawyer was trying to bail him out, basically, like pay his way out instead of letting the people that he killed get their justice. He was just trying to take him out. So David was like, hecky nah, y'all not gonna bail him out. What's wrong with y'all? So then they bust into prison and kidnapped Kennedy, Charles Kennedy. Basically, they kidnapped him, took him outside, wrapped a rope around his neck. Now, some people say it's 2 different ways that they say. They say that they cut his head off. That's it. One of the things that they just cut his head off. But the other one says that they wrapped his neck up with rope, right? Then they tied him to a horse and had the horse run up and down, up and down, up and down, all around the town and all around the main streets, and that his head came off. So either way, whether it's the first one or the second one, he ended up without a head. After he was dead, Rosa moved on with her life. She was like, I'm just finna dip. I'm like, girl, that's really sad. Are you okay? All of your kids are dead. Your husband is dead because he's a psycho killer. And the people that he killed were under your house. I feel like they should have asked her more questions. But, it was like women back in the day, women aren't capable of murder. Yeah, okay, ask Lizzie Borden. But anyway, yeah, so she left. She dipped, never to be seen again. She told her piece. She said what it was, and she dipped. Now, all the people in the town was like, what we finna do with his body? Because I don't want his body buried in this Catholic cemetery next to my relatives. No. So they was like, dang, where are we gonna bury him? So they buried this man outside of the cemetery. They said, how you gonna wait from outside of the club and you can't even get in? That's what they said. So, and they said that his head wasn't even buried with him. Where's the head? They don't say where the head is. Shouldn't you bury? Hey, that ain't my problem. But there's a headless skeleton somewhere. So that was the story of Charles Kennedy. Yes, he was crazy. They don't say, I guess they never really gave him a chance to say why he killed those people, because they took the matters into their own hands and did what they felt needed to be done. So that's his story. They don't really have any names for his victims, but it was back in the day, so they probably didn't really want to keep track of things like that. But that was crazy, and I was excited to do something from the Wild West. You know, Westerns are cool, you know. But yeah, so that was it. I'm hoping that Rosa did something better with her life and chose a better man, because that was basura. That was trash. He was trash. But anyway, so thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you, and please like and subscribe if you are not. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.